Now, please, keep it down. Try and get some good B-roll.
I screwed up the art direction, didn't I?
Oh, maybe I should move this over there.
It has our names on it.
I know, I was like, it's the
Oh, no,
Melanie
wait,
brand,
what?
and then I was like, and the Macon brand, what the fuck is going on?
What is going on?
You know, my character Ruth is having a little bit of a crisis, and she just doesn't really understand why people have to be so awful to each other. And that's certainly, I mean, I'm from New Zealand. There's a way that people sort of operate and behave out in the world, and it can be really shocking to me sometimes when people are aggressive and people are rude. And I've definitely felt the thing that Ruth feels at the beginning of the movie, where it's like, am I the only person in the world who lets someone cut in line, who like holds the door open and people just march through? And you know, it's like, I relate to that feeling a lot.
Yeah, I think Tony has a sort of glass half full, silver lining perspective that I kind of relate to. He, you know, especially when sort of paired with her crisis of looking at the world from, you know, the fact that she thinks everyone's assholes and everything's kind of horrible. He sees things as being great and trying to sort of uplift her, and I relate to that aspect of him, I think, a little bit.
Now, Macon, this is your directorial debut.
Yeah.
Why was this the right film to jump into directing?
I hope that it was. No, I had the attitude that like I may be able, if I'm lucky, to make one movie, and let's not count on getting to do other ones. So I wanted to, I had a checklist of things that I wanted to do, and that was partly a crime story and partly a sweet-natured comedy and partly a friendship story, and I had the idea of this particular character who was a nurse who had kind of lost her capacity to care for people, and I just wanted to build those sorts of ideas around that character and hope that it held together. The movie would not have happened without Netflix. Quite simply, they were. We actually had a meeting with them at the Sundance Festival a year ago, almost to the day, and pitched it to them. And just right from that first meeting, the amount of creative control that they made very clear they were going to allow on this was startling. And I kept waiting for, like, surely there is going to be some strings attached to this, and yet there weren't. And they just allowed us to do what we wanted to do, and they put a lot of faith and trust in us. And especially for an untested first-time director, that was not lost on me. That faith that they placed in the project, and I couldn't be more grateful to them for that.
It's such a great way to get the movie to so many people. They do such a great job of making everybody know about it. I love seeing movies in movie theaters. I never will stop doing that. But when you're asking people to go see, it's the way people watch stuff now, and it just is really nice to be able to be like, it's easy. Like, you just have to like put your TV on, you know?
Yeah, and sometimes a film like this may only see distribution in the sort of coastal cities, and this is a movie now that is on a platform that will be seen worldwide by millions of people. And that's an extraordinary thing for any film, you know?
Yeah.
It's huge, and it doesn't have to it doesn't have to live and die on an opening weekend, and just sort of, it will be out for this one brief period of time. It can just live on the platform and people can discover it in their own time.
Yeah.